Your CEO just asked, why did sales drop last month? You have raw data scattered across different spreadsheets. You need insights, a dashboard, and a presentation by tomorrow morning. In this video, watch me do all of this using AI agents and prompting. To start using AI for analysis tasks, first you have to go to chat.ajelix.com. This is the AI agent we're going to use for this use case. This is how the interface looks like. So the first thing I'm going to start with, I'm going to create a new project that will be dedicated only for analysis tasks. So the next thing I will do is I will upload my 3 CSV files that has different kind of sales data. So the first one is deal level data. Here's the monthly sales summary and representative performance. So now we have different CSV files. They can either be Excel files or PDFs or Google Sheets. It doesn't really matter. You can perform analysis with different types of file formats. The next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna add a prompt. And the first prompt I have already pre-saved an analysis prompt. And so this prompt includes several questions. For example, for AI to explain us why did the revenue drop in January compared to December. And here, so we're asking him to provide a revenue comparison, which segments was most affected, so key trends and patterns, any anomalies that stand out. So this is what we're going to ask the AI agent. And so the next thing before we're hitting send, first you have to make sure that you're in agent mode, because the agent is the one that can perform several tasks. And of course, you have to choose a model that is the most powerful one, because the quality will change based on that. And so we're hitting send, and you can see that AI is working. So he will analyze the prompt, retrieve the data, and provide us with analysis. At this point, AI has finished the reasoning. So here we can see that he performed 8 actions to complete this task. And he even provided a revenue analysis dashboard that we didn't ask him to do, but let's see what he created. So here is the analysis summary. So overall revenue comparison, December versus January. Here we can see that there's some kind of changes. So something dropped, the deals closed, average deal size. Also, we can see the drop here, and here we can see that central enterprise is the only segment that grew. So an AI agent performed this analysis from various files. So let's see the dashboard that he created. And okay, so this dashboard looks pretty awesome. It has like all the data, all the charts. Here you can see they're all interactive. So here we can see the drop analysis specifically. He has highlighted the total drop in revenue. Here we can see the sales representative performance change. Here you can see that Mike, something is wrong with how Mike performed, because the revenue on December, he was the top performer, but now the revenue has dropped almost 3 times, and several deals were pushed to February. So this is likely the reason why we saw the drop here. So this analysis actually is already very useful to showcase. So, and I can just save it to my assets, and I can later on access this specific file. So here you can see here are like my all assets. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask him more detailed analysis regarding these representatives. So I have here created a prompt, and so this is what I'm going to ask him to do, to compare Mike and Sarah's performance, because as we saw in the dashboard, those were the representatives that performed so much worse than they did in the previous month. So I want to understand. So here's what I'm asking. He helped me understand if this is a representative issue or a market timing issue. Let's just click save, send, and we'll see what AI will provide us with. So AI has finished analyzing the performances that we asked him to do. So here's the summary that he provided. So here we can see both Mike and Sarah had a huge change compared to the previous month and this month. So their performance were really bad in comparison. let's see the dashboard that he created, the AI. So, okay, so he has compared specifically these both representatives to better understand what happened. So here we can again see the change, the deals closed, the January great numbers, and we can see also the segment that they're working in. They both work in West Enterprise segment. Here we can see that several critical deal events happened. And here we can see the two deals were pushed to February. So that was the thing that affected the numbers. So we asked him to, is it the market problem or is it sales representative? And so we asked him to help us understand. So here we can see that he has told us that it's a timing issue with representative concerns. Here we can see that the 71 drop is extreme, even with pushes, and both have lowest quote attainment on team. We can take a lot of things from this analysis, and I'm more interested in what he also wrote here. So here the primary issue, cause, timing market issue, because both representatives were affected equally and they both worked in the same market. And December was unusually strong, but then it was very bad. AI has performed the super advanced analysis. If we would have done it manually, it would take us out several hours. And so at this point, I have already performed an analysis. I kind of get a feeling that it's the market problem. And so here we can see all the data that both representatives worked in the same market. So at this point, I need to provide a report to my CEO because he asked me to explain what happened. I want to create an executive summary. I'm going to ask AI a follow-up question to write a concise executive summary for my CEO that I can present. I will include that one-page maximum PDF file. So it's easily to just view it here. And so I'm asking him to just give me a situation overview, analysis, root causes, the impacts, context, and I'm asking him to keep it direct, data-driven, and actionable. And so at this point, so we're going to ask him to create a PDF report. And then after the PDF report, we will also give the last follow-up prompt to create a presentation based on this, because sometimes we need to do analysis, we need to send a PDF, just a short brief to our CEO, and sometimes we need to present the data in some kind of meeting. So it's useful to see the different how we can change our workflow with AI agents. AI has finished creating the PDF brief. So here it took him 3 actions and around, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes. Here we can see in the files section that he has created a brief. And so let's take a look at it. Here we can see the situation. He created a tables, he formatted all of it. So here we can see the root cause analysis. So the West Enterprise deal timing and churn, not systematic market weakness. And here we can see the deals that were pushed, the impact region and representatives that were affected by this. And here is the context and market conditions that he summarized, and several recommendations based on the data that we have provided him. For example, your brand has a specific colors or logos. You can include them in the prompts and AI will adapt it, or you can create in this project. Here we can see the project itself. So previously that I showed you in the beginning. So here we can instruct him, for example, at this point to use only specific brand colors, or use this or don't use specific things. So this is what we can do here. And then all the chats, the AI will have the context for all the chats in the specific project. At this point, you can just download it and send to your CEO, or you can just close the window and it will be like here. You can download it here, you can preview it and do whatever you like to do. But so let's move on to the last step. So I'm going to ask him to create a PowerPoint presentation, because, well, maybe I need to present it to my team and to explain what exactly happened. So here I'm asking him to explain the January sales performance. So I'm asking to include several things, use the charts that he had already created, and I'm going to ask him to use this color for accents. So this is my brand color that I know from heart. So I'm going to just add it here. And so Let's click send and we'll see what he will create. So AI agent has finished creating the presentation. So here you can see that he completed more than 7 actions. He actually completed 18 actions to actually create this presentation based on the data that we provided him before. So here we can see the overview of all the things, the key features. Okay, so let's take a look at the presentation. So we can see it here. We can just press it, click on it. Okay, and he has created, so he has used the color that I asked him to use. So this is the color that I requested him in the prompt. So here we can see the sales performance review, so execute the summary, so the main insights that we're seeing in the data. Here are the numbers, the things that we ask him to analyze. So he has actually provided these things, main numbers, root causes. So he even created a chart here in the presentation. So here are some kind of things that are mixed together, but we can download the PowerPoint and then we can adjust the chart and it will all be good. Here we can all again see the West Enterprise representatives, how they are performing, and here are the recommendations based on the data, what should we do? And again, expected recovery and the risk scenarios. And again, the presentation, it looks pretty awesome. I could have easily uploaded my logo here in the workspace and AI would use the logo and in the presentation and use the colors so it would all match your brand. If I would have done all of this, it would have taken me like 2 to 3 days just to create all of it. It is such a huge time save, and I can actually focus on other things because AI did all the heavy work here. In traditional workflow, this would be 2 to 3 days of work where you have to clean data manually, you have to create charts, calculate everything, build presentations. It's a lot of work if we have to do it manually. But at this point, we have AI agents that are able to perform these tasks for us. There are also several other use cases that you can perform, like work with AI agents in Google Sheets, create and generate Excel files, create landing pages, different applications, and perform different kinds of use cases. We're also publishing several new use cases every week on our YouTube channel, so I would really appreciate a subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And there are also related videos linked below. The tool that we use for this is chat.ajelix.com. You can go ahead, check it out. Free trial available, so you can first test it out if it works for you. Hit a subscribe and let me know if you enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate a feedback, and so see you in the next one.